Don Harrison, Newport High School head football coach, athletic director, each and every month on a show that is brought to you by Subway in the Newport Walmart Supercenter. The Sampsons invite you by to take advantage of some of the great specials that they have each and every day at Subway in Walmart. Coach Harrison, good to see you, my friend. It's always a pleasure to talk Greyhound football with you, man.
Absolutely. It's the best part of my day.
We filmed on a Monday when Fast Hounds just started.
Yes, sir.
And kind of give everybody an overview exactly what Fast Hounds is.
Fast Hounds is an anagram for fundamentals, agility, and speed. And we bring the kids in, and 7 a.m. the high school football team shows up.
Okay.
Now, we open it up for anybody that is a Greyhound. So if a basketball player, anybody wanted to participate, it's free. And pretty much the boys come up here and we just work them out. We do the boys early in the morning because so many of them have jobs.
Sure.
And they play baseball in the afternoon, or they do this and they do that. And it's just so much easier to do it in the morning. And they don't like getting up, but they get up, and they get up here at 7 a.m. and we'll put them through a workout. And then they lift weights, and they're here for about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes, and they go home. We let them go. And we only do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
But the senior high boys come in at 7, junior high boys come in at 8, and then we have a girls group that goes at 9:15.
Good.
Same thing. We just put the kids through workout, help them get better. We do certain kind of drills and things like that, and it's just something that I've always done since I had become a coach. Whether I was working for a guy and we did it, and we went here and I went here, and we've always just done it, and it's just something I think is incredibly valuable.
Well, no doubt that, I had one that go through it, and it's a great program, and the kids get excited. You build a lot of camaraderie, and
yes,
that's what you try to do this time of year, leading into the football season. And let me tell you what, folks, I mean, if you're watching at the end of July, you're 30 days away, almost 30 days away.
That's
a
right.
little over 30 days away from a football game.
Yeah.
And, but let's talk a little bit about the football team in itself. Let's talk a little bit about schedule.
Okay.
We're not in a new conference, but we've had some conference changes. Let's talk non-conference schedule, and then let's talk a little bit about the conference.
Okay. Non-conference schedule to scrimmage this year. We went with Valonia because we lost Greene County Tech as a scrimmage because now we play them week 2.
Right.
So we agreed to scrimmage Valonia. So Valonia's going to come here on Tuesday night, August the 26th.
Okay.
And they're going to scrimmage us. And then Friday, I want to say it's September 3rd.
Okay. First Friday.
Yeah,
in
the first Friday in September we play Nettleton at home. Because we went to Nettleton last year, and then we go to Greene County Tech week 2, and we go to Sylvan Hills week 3. And we've played Sylvan Hills now for the past, I want to say, the past 2 years.
Yeah, several years.
So we've played them, and we've never played Greene County Tech in the last few years. And they got a new coach the other day. So we don't know what to expect from them, but they're a 5A, and we play 4 5As in a row before we start conference. So
and speaking of Greene County Tech, used to be in our conference, as did Nettleton. We used to be in that conference, and that's a couple of old former conference foes. And Sylvan Hills, a 5A school that's been a very, very good football team, and it's great competition. But boy, we got a real tough conference schedule too.
Well, and I just said we play 4. You count the scrimmage and the 3 non-conference, we play 4 5A opponents in a row. And if you count last year, we played 5 because the first conference game is West Helena, who is coming to us from 5A. They've been in 5A for the past few years. They've moved down, and they took Dollarway's place. So that is one of the new things going on. We traded Clinton for CAC, Central Arkansas Christian, and we traded Mariana Lee with Riverview, which is, of course, just right down the road in Searcy. They've moved up to 4A. Other than that, everybody is still the same. So I think we've got West Helena, week 4, then we're home week 5, which is homecoming for Lone Oak, which is going to be a big game.
Absolutely.
Week 6, we are at Stuttgart. Week 7, we're at Heber. Week 8, we are home for Riverview. Week 9, we're home for CAC. And week 10, we go to Southside to end the year.
Well, let me tell you what, those first conference games right there, man, you talk about murderer's row, no doubt about it. I mean, it's
tough.
It'll be a very, very tough conference. But the expectation is high, and we accept the expectation here to be the Greyhounds.
Well, I don't want to go anywhere where people people's expectation is, man, I hope we win a couple games.
Right.
I want to be somewhere where people's expectations are that we're competing for a championship.
Sure.
And we compete for a championship every year. That board outside the Kitty building, that's a big deal to me. That's a big deal to the coaching staff. I know that's a big deal to the kids. We go by it every day. We see it every day.
Sure.
And there's a responsibility to it. To keep the expectations and to keep our program running at such a high level, and it's a lot that pushes us, and expectations are a good thing.
Coach, every now and then you come along, you get yourself an opportunity, and I've been doing this a long, long time, been broadcasting, been part of the Greyhound history, and matter of fact, I'm starting my 33rd year broadcasting, and but over the course of the last 40 and 50 years, coming into a season, there haven't been a lot of times when you go, listen, we got a chance to be very, very good, and we got a chance to do something special. This group does, but with that in mind, you got to be good, you got to be prepared, and you got to have some luck along the way if you're going to win it all.
Oh, absolutely, and I was blessed to be part of some championship seasons and other places that I've coached and got some rings, and I could tell you about some roles and some things that just went our way, some
Absolutely.
breaks that we got late in games, and helped us win a championship.
Sure.
and we got that ring, and it's beautiful. But you can be as good as you want, but you gotta have some breaks. I mean, you look at we were talking about the other day, you look at the Seattle Seahawks. They destroyed the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl, but nobody remembers that if Richard Sherman doesn't knock that ball down, the San Francisco 49ers win the
They win the game, and they don't even
They
get
were
to go.
that close
That's
to not
correct.
even going to the
That's
Super
correct.
Bowl, and not only did they win, they blew it out, one of the worst blowouts in the history of the Super Bowl, but they were this close.
That's correct.
To not going to the Super Bowl, you've got to have some luck. Some things got to go your way.
They got to go your way. They got to fall into place, and boy, you got to be injury free, especially at the 4A level. But I'll tell you what, I'm so looking forward to this football year. I know the people in town they're already gearing up. They're already talking about it, and they're excited about it. And a lot of hard work goes in. And those of us that don't know, I mean, we just show up on Friday night and go, boy, I hope we win. But boy, tons of preparation have been going on many, many months and years coming into this situation right here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we work really hard, and like I said, we take a lot of pride in what we do. We want to win. We want to compete, and we know there's a lot of us here that know what it takes to get to that position and what we have to do. And it comes down to time. You've got to put your time in. I don't believe in being a high school football coach and playing golf all day Saturday.
Right.
You just can't do it. You've got to be in the office on Saturday. You've got to be in there on Sunday. You've got to be, putting the preparation in. Every day it's something new with the technology. This is a better way to do this. And so, I mean, I got to learn. I got to learn this, this is a better way. We got to have one of these, and this computer program does this. It's always something.
Sure.
The game is always changing. We're having to adapt as coaches, but the number one thing, David, is these guys come through that door every day.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what we tell them, whether we put it on the board or we say we're going to do this or we're going to learn a new play. Our kids show up every day. And they give us everything they've got, and that's why, as a coaching staff, you feel like you've got a chance, because when you got guys that are going out every day and they're busting their butt, and you can tell them, well, I know that brick wall's on fire, but you really need to run through it right now. And okay, and then you just go run right through it.
Sir.
It makes you feel good, and that's what this group really does. This morning at 6:59, when I blew the whistle,
Time to go.
they were going.
Ready to go.
It was no holds bar. They were going. It was rough on some of them because they hadn't done anything in a while, but they didn't hold back. And they pushed themselves as hard as they could, and they did a great job in the workout, and they'll be back in the morning. And that's what gets you up in the morning.
Hey, and that's what gets me excited about Greyhound football. Folks, it's coming. It's right around the corner. The Hounds, I mean, again, if you're watching, we filmed early in July, but if you're watching at the end of the month, at least the 26th, after the 26th of July, we got a scrimmage game on the 26th of the next month. So it is here, Greyhound football. Get ready. It's going to be a special year for the Hounds. Go Hounds, and Coach Harrison, as always, my pleasure to get to see you, my friend.
Absolutely. Go Hounds.
Shelter Insurance has covered a lot of miles and a lot of cars and drivers since 1946. We like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter Agent Mark Manning about Shelter's competitive insurance rates.
I want to welcome you out to Lindley this afternoon to our luau. We're so glad to have not only our residents here, but most of our staff and our families that are represented. Thank you for coming out this afternoon. We're just going to have a big Hawaiian party, a luau this afternoon. We want you to enjoy yourself. We want you to dance and clap and have a good time. We're going to have some of the staff members do a dance behind us up here in just a second, and you're going to enjoy that. We've got fruit tree and all kinds of fruit. We got smoothies in the back. We have our staff are going to serve you, and so you just enjoy yourself, relax, and have a good time. We're glad to have David Black and Ben Black out here with Cable 15 TV. We're glad to have the radio station here in Newport with us. But the main thing is today, have a good time.
Let's get this luau started.
Shining girl,
I think some of our staff, I think some of our residents want to dance. If y'all want to slip out and get some of them up and help them. I just can tell our residents want to dance and have a good time this afternoon.
rates still near historic lows, now's a great time to purchase a new home or refinance your existing loan. Call or go see Kenny Thaxton at ENG Lending for an evaluation of your existing mortgage or for a pre-qualification on a new home purchase loan. ENG Lending is a division of the Bank of England in England, Arkansas, which was chartered in 1898. They offer a full range of today's mortgage products, such as USDA Rural Development, FHA, VA, and conventional financing. They offer 100% financing to qualified borrowers. ENG Lending offers great rates and unmatched customer service. Stop by today and see Kenny Thaxton with ENG Lending located in the Village Mall in Newport, or call him today at 870-495-3931. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 418481.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bud Black, and welcome to our program presented by ENG. Kenny Thaxton down there in the Newport Village Mall. If you're looking for a lending product, mortgage, refinance, be sure and talk to those folks and tell them that we sent you by there to see the folks at ENG. It's a good choice for you. You ought to consider it. Well, let's talk a little baseball. The St. Louis Cardinals, who have had a whole bunch of troubles. At the time of our taping, around the 4th of July, when we taped, the Cardinals were continuing to struggle, although they had picked up a win at San Francisco, which is very nice. But I tell you what, their offense, I haven't seen this many zeros since World War II. It just, they just can't score. And Oscar Taveras is not the answer. And I don't know what the Cardinal management is doing. I think they were planning on trying to play hard and get a big bopper for the middle of that lineup, whoever they could get. But when the two pitchers went down, especially Walker being out, they knew Garcia was going to be gone anyway. But that really changed the whole dynamic, because the Cardinals now think that even with a big bopper, they cannot win with the makeshift pitching staff they put together. It's not a bad group. Not a bad group at all, but Carlos Martinez has to return to his form he had last year, and he has to improve from what he was doing earlier in the year, trying to pitch in the 7th and 8th inning. It just was awful. But as a starter, maybe he'll be better. But you lose a guy like Walker, who was just sensational last year and won the pennant for them, as a matter of fact, in the stretch with some key victories against the Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Also, the Cardinals don't have to worry about the Brewers, who at the time of our taping had lost 4 or 5 in a row. It's the Reds and the Pirates who are behind that are on their way up. And by the time you see this, they may have already caught the Cardinals. It is not beyond comprehension. Now listen to me. If the Cardinals don't get their pitchers back and they don't make a trade for a big bopper, just decide to wait till next year and start over, the Cubs could catch them. Remember I said that. If they keep their big pitchers, Zamarja, the Cubs could actually move up. Although they start playing each other inter-division now the rest of the way, and it'll really get tough, because Pirates are going to beat up on the Reds one series, and the Reds are going to beat up on the Cardinals, and the Cardinals will beat up on the Pirates. Well, the Cardinals aren't going to beat up on anybody, but they might win a series. But anyway, it's frustrating as Cardinal fans. We sit here and say, well, they say they've got $60 million left in their budget they can allocate right now, and they don't do anything about it. So it makes me think that upper management believes that this year is a lost cause. And as we tape, they're only a game out of the wild card position, one of the 2 that they have this year. So they've got to try and make an effort to at least make it to the wild card. But with their offense set up the way it is now, I don't think they can outlast somebody like San Francisco or the Dodgers or Washington or Atlanta or the Reds or Cincinnati, for that matter, for the wild card spot. I think there's a couple teams that are going to be better than they are. They must find a way to score some runs. And it's not an Oscar Taveras. He gives them a legitimate threat, but he's just a kid, 22 years old. He is not the big answer. He might come up there, he might hit 275 the rest of the way, might have 4 or 5 home runs, drive in 25, 30 runs, but he is not the answer. He's better than what they've had offensively. The answer they keep saying is, well, we've got to get Alan Craig to hit, we've got to get Matt Holliday to hit, we've got to get Molina to hit. They're having terrible years. I don't think they're going to hit, especially Craig, and his are injury related. The last 2 years he had 2 major injuries. This last one, when he messed up the running down the first baseline, in the playoffs. That's a tough one. It changes everything, changes your stance, and he just has lost so much. I don't know if he'll ever make it back. I wish him well, and I hope he can do it with the Cardinals, but it just doesn't look like that. So maybe by the time you see this, Cardinals will have decided to make an effort to win the division, at least try to land one of the wild card positions, and will have gone out and gotten somebody. It may not be Stanton at Miami. You know, it may not be Babe Ruth, but somebody in the middle of the lineup that can hit the ball and get them going, and them with Tavares help them score some runs. Maybe that'll take some of the pressure off of Holiday, Craig, Molina, Peralta, and they can do better. Just an update on the Cardinals. Don't forget, football season is right around the corner. Practices in August, both high school and college. We're looking forward to a great year around here. The Greyhounds have a chance, barring injury, and making sure that everybody gets out on the team, you know, makes their grades and stays in school. Got a chance to be something special this year. Coach Donnie Harrison and his bunch have done a great job. They did last year. Looking forward to even bigger and better things this year. It'll be fun to follow the Hounds, and you can follow them right here on Cable 15 TV. Remember, you can watch us at cable15tv.com. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. A lot of ways to reach people right here on Cable 15 TV. And we appreciate you being with us, and you're watching us here on Cable 15, and always a pleasure. Bud Black.
Tara Salinas, Merchants of Planters Bank, downtown Newport, and we always get to talk about good things happening at our local bank right here in downtown Newport, and out on the highway and throughout locations, northeast, north central Arkansas. What's up, girl?
Well, always something good going on.
I guarantee you.
We've always got good stuff to report. We're doing a little remodeling out at the north office. If our customers have been in and kind of gotten a little dusty or, you know, saw some stuff laying around on the floor, we apologize for the inconvenience, or pardon our progress, I guess I should say.
There you go.
But yeah, we're kind of getting a facelift out there, making it a little nicer and more modern, and you know, just to welcome our customers a little better.
Speaking of a facelift out there, and excuse me for interrupting, but that just kind of reminds me of many years ago when I used to walk into this bank here in downtown Newport. You talk about when y'all remodeled several years ago, man, y'all you did okay, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're going to do it,
progress.
Do it all the way. So
what else is happening down here at the bank?
Oh gosh, well, let's see. We just wrapped up kind of a little seminar on elder abuse.
Okay.
June the 15th was World Elder Abuse Day, and you know, here we take a lot of precautions, invest a lot of our staff's time and technology dollars to ensuring, you know, that people do not fall victim to identity theft or fraud or scams and everything. Very important to us here because it is such a problem, and unfortunately there are terrible people out there that want to take your money.
Right.
And so we, like I said, from a banking standpoint, we feel like we've got it covered here, but we also feel like it's our job to educate the public, the community, and in particularly this month, the elder community, about what they can do on their part to help ensure it doesn't happen to them.
It happens all too often, and especially in when you talk about when folks who are really not technologically advanced, and that includes me and most of us at my age and older, and we do fall victim to some of the things that, if you're just starting out on a computer and you really don't know how to work, and then all of a sudden somebody sends you an email that says, hey, you can get $6,000 here, all you got to do is send in $150.
Right.
We'll send you $6,000 because you won the sweepstakes of the blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And lots of people send $150 in and they don't get their $6,000.
Unfortunately, these folks that do this are very good at what they do.
Absolutely.
That's their living, so they invest all their time into it, and so they're gonna, kind of play at your emotions and offer you something you can't refuse.
Right.
But what we are trying to tell people and spread the word is, if it sounds too good to be true, it always is. Never trust it. If you win something, that you didn't register for, or that's a red flag.
You probably didn't win, did you?
Win. Or if you win something and you have to send some money in for it, that's not a legit thing either. If you have to pay for it, you didn't win it. But like I said, they're very good at even, with the older community or the ones that are in assisted living facilities and things like that, they'll call and pretend to be, from a government agency or, there's a lot of stuff happening now where they will call and be distraught and say that their grandkids or,
absolutely. Happened in our family. Absolutely.
And, they need money and they'll be crying so they can kind of disguise their voice, and then, they'll get the police officer on the phone and say, oh, you need to send the money here. And so that's happened a lot. Facebook, people that are newly getting on Facebook, there's communities for people who are, grieving, or, I just saw something on the news the other day about a lady that she went through the tornadoes in Bologna. She lost a son. She was kind of reaching out, needing some comfort, got involved in with the group who was obviously there to scam people. She lost a lot of money because she put her trust in someone because, again, they were playing on her emotions.
Absolutely.
So, it's terrible. And like I said, I think these people are just, horrible people, and they'll, I'm sure, get what's coming to them. But we've got to make sure our community is aware of what's going on and know how to, to prevent it happening to them.
Great that Merchants and Planners Bank is doing that and spreading the word out there to the community about this, what you might need to look at, and so on and so forth.
Yes, and so like I said, we are glad to come to talk to any community groups, civic groups, organizations. If anyone's interested in having us come and talk about this, we'll be glad to. Give me a call here at the bank, and we'll get something set up. But just for the audience here, for now, a couple of things, again, that we've talked about. If it's too good to be true, don't trust it. If somebody calls you or emails you and asks for personal information, do not give it to them. As your financial institution, we'll never call or email and ask for that because we have it.
Right.
That we have that information. So if someone's asking you to send it to them or give it to them on the phone, hang up. And if there's a question, hang up and call that whoever they're saying they're with, call them back directly. Or like when you're going online, don't ever click on a link to something. If you go to our website, type our website in. Don't try to go onto it from a link that somebody sent to you, because people can change things up, and you can go somewhere you're not supposed to go, and they can get your information from there. You can put your phone number or your cell phone on the do not call list to kind of limit those calls. That number is 888-382-1222. Call that number, put yourself on the do not call list. That way, like I said, again, kind of at least limits the number of calls you get. And just make sure you monitor your account closely, all of your accounts, your checking account, your savings account, credit cards. Check those statements and make sure you don't see anything funny on it. If you do, contact your bank and your financial institution immediately. Like I said, there's a ton of information. We have it on our website as well, if you want to go there and look at our website and read some stuff. Or like I said, give us a call and we'll be glad to come and talk to you or your groups about it.
MNPbank.com.
MNPbank.com. That's
lots of information on the web too.
Yes.
Just a real quick story. I got a phone call this morning. It was from Louisiana, and I thought it might have been a call on an automobile that I was trying to sell. But anyway, I answered the phone, and the guy says, "This is Al Green from Ocean." And I thought, oh, here's a good one right here from Ocean. Said, "You haven't signed up for your safety deals for the year." Said, your safety training for the year. And I said, what? I kind of acted dumb. I said, well, what kind of safety training am I supposed to sign up for? Said, well, Mr. Blake, you're in the construction business, aren't you? And I said, well, no, sir. He said, you don't put cable down? I said, put cable down? He said, yeah. Are you not one of those guys that goes into certain counties and puts down cable underground? I said, no. He said, are you cable 15? I said, that's cable 15 TV. I said, I'm a television station. And he was legit. He was legit. I'd heard from him a couple of years ago, and I said, well, I'm cable TV, so not just cable construction company. But sometimes, and really, even that, sometimes if you see a number that you don't know, a lot of times I don't answer it.
I'm the same way, and let them, if they want to leave a voicemail, and like I said, maybe check it out before you call them back. They're out there, and like I said, you would think if they're smart enough to do stuff like this, they could probably make a living doing something amazing.
Absolutely.
But they devote their time and their talents to this, unfortunately. So, you know, everybody just has to be on guard all the time.
Well, I'm glad Merchants and Planters Bank is at the forefront in helping prevent this elder financial abuse, as we call it, because it does happen. Good to see you, Tara Salinas.
Good to see you, too.
Everything's lovely for the summer, and you got the rest of the summer planned down. Before you know it, it'll be football season.
Pretty much. We're ready for that,
It's
too.
coming. It's coming. Let's continue on with more of the Business Spotlight. With my good friend Tommy Bain at Farmers Tire Mart, Malcolm Avenue in Newport. We've been here a lot of years, been taking care of lots of folks. We do more than just farmers. We got to film on a day early in July. We'd had a couple of 80-degree days over the weekend and just had a big 4th of July. Boy, the weather has been absolutely gorgeous, my friend.
It has. It has been wonderful weather. And farmers have been able to get a little bit done.
Yeah.
And been able to spend some more money replanting beans.
Yeah, they have that. Had a lot of rain, didn't we?
A lot of rain.
Had a lot of rain. A lot of farmers lost some beans. And then on the day we filmed, they were sprinkling on the outside and a chance of rain, but I just think it's kind of just going to be hit and miss. But there's no doubt the weather's been nice, and the farmers have been working very, very hard, Tommy. And you guys continue to. You're out there on the farm with them. Tell us about what you guys do and how you do it.
Yep. You know, they have flats and on those old big tractors and out in the fields or at the shop. You know, they go down overnight sometimes, and first thing in the morning we get a phone call, and we got a flat on a tractor at the shop. We go to it.
You got to go to it.
Go to it.
Absolutely.
And fix it, get them going. And we get one with a pivot flat on it, and it's out in the cornfield and mud knee deep, you know, and we go to it.
You got to go to it, don't you? Kind of hard for, I've never seen a guy limp in with on his tractor with a flat. That just doesn't happen, doesn't it?
No, it don't happen.
And I certainly hadn't seen a situation right there where those things in the middle of the cornfield, those things come riding into town.
Yeah.
Big old long watering system. They have the big tires on. But you guys have to get out there. Y'all have to help the farmer, and that's what you do, and that's what makes you guys special.
We do. When we go out there, we become part of his operation right then.
You bet.
And,
You bet.
Get him going.
You bet.
So we love doing it. It's become part of our lives.
Absolutely. And of course, we do a lot more than just for the farmers. We're called Farmers Tire Mart. We talk a lot about on this program about we sell tires to about anything that needs rubber on it. Talk a little bit about selection of tires.
Oh, cars, four-wheelers, pickups, ton trucks, over-the-road trucks. We've got them.
Lawnmowers.
Cars.
Yeah.
Lawnmowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
The touring cars and that takes special touring tires.
Right.
We've got those, and we do a lot of farm truck.
Sure.
Farm trucks, and it's a necessity, and we enjoy being able to assist the farmer in their operations, and it's become a way of life for us, and we certainly appreciate it.
There's never a day that goes by that when I drive by here, and I do usually several times a day, that the shops, it's always got people in it. It's good, steady business. You're taking care of not only those farmers, but you're taking care of people's automobiles. Just simple things like on an oil change. We do oil changes. You do front end alignments. You do brake work. You do, small mechanical stuff. We don't want to, get into, big time automotive type stuff. But what you do is you keep us on the road and make sure that we have the maintenance on our automobiles to where they're safe and sound and ready to go.
Absolutely. Preventative maintenance is a must for anybody.
Sure.
If manufacturers booklets that comes with the vehicle, they tell you that a drive belt needs to be changed every 80 to 100,000 miles.
Right.
And it if you decide to put that off and take another trip, well, you might find yourself sitting on the side of the road.
Yes, sir. That's not fun either, is it?
It's not fun.
No, it's not fun.
Especially in this hot weather.
Yes, sir.
You know,
well, let's fix to get summertime. We haven't had any scorching weather. I know the last couple of summers, even in June, it was over 100 degrees, and I mean, we've barely gotten some days in the 90s along the way, and so the weather, from a weather factor, it's been real pleasant. But I do know this, that when it gets hot, you need to be ready, and that car needs to be ready too, and that's where Farmers Tire Mart can take care of all of us.
Absolutely. We want the opportunity to serve our customers, whatever it might be. Tires or brakes or
brakes,
alignments, front end suspension parts, and all that. But we have a man that's good at that.
Right.
And we appreciate the opportunity to be able to do it.
Brother Tommy Bain, it's always a pleasure to get to come down and visit with you. Most of the time when I'm down here, it's because I've got a little general maintenance that we have to do. But today we're just down here filming and having fun, and I appreciate you, my friend.
And enjoying the shower.
Absolutely, little rain shower coming. Tommy Bain, Farmers Tire Mart, downtown Newport, Arkansas. Great pleasure to visit with Jane Brewer at UACCB. We're in Batesville, Arkansas, and it's always a pleasure to get to see you, girl.
Well, thanks. It's a pleasure to have you on campus. You know we like our Newport visitors.
You know, when we pulled into the campus today, I know we've had a lot of rain, and boy, it looks so pretty where the trees are so green and the grass is manicured and the landscape is absolutely beautiful. This is a beautiful campus.
Thank you. It is. Heath Wooldridge is our director of grounds and maintenance, and those guys do a fantastic job. Really, probably better than any of us. You know, that's your first impression when you come on campus, and wow, it always amazes me the care that they take and just the little details even.
Oh, the little details are there. There's no doubt. It is absolutely gorgeous when you pull in here. And we want to talk a little registration. We're in the middle of summer. Summer school's going on. We've got fall registration we need to talk about. Let's go.
Fall registration. Classes start August 20th. There is time right now to come in and register. It's a perfect time, actually. You don't have to be rushed in getting your documents ready. There's a series of 4 steps that new students have to go through to become students. It takes a little time getting your high school or college transcript. Right. We need a copy of their shot records in the state of Arkansas.
Right.
Students need 2 MMR shots, and somebody like my age, we may not remember if we have those.
That's right.
Anyway, that's not a hard thing to do, but it does take a little time. And then we need placement test scores, which they can do on our campus. It's not, again, not difficult, but it does, it's hard to do in a day. So now would be a good time for students, if you're interested, or even students who have been here, then not been with us for a while and want to return. All they have to do is a new application, really, and we're good.
It really seems that in today's world, and Ben having gone through college, and our youngest son, Grant, gone through college recently, some paperwork that you have to do, and it's not a lot of paperwork. It's not a lot of paperwork at all, and it's real simple to do, but there is a process that you have to go through.
There is, and we try to make it easy. It's one-stop shop, really.
Right.
We come to the Enrollment Center. We will help students through that. We also, in this building, have our financial aid office. There's still time to apply for financial aid. That's a really pretty quick turnaround. They need their tax information from last year for this coming fall, but again, it's all very centrally located, and we try to make it easy for students. We know it's kind of intimidating at first, so we do try to help them through that process. And once we get all that done, then they can schedule an appointment right down the hallway to enroll with a personal advisor. We're not going to send a group in with an advisor and say, okay, everybody's taking this class. It's one-on-one. It depends on their work schedule, their child care schedule, their degree plan, what they want to do. And so we really try to personalize it, and that's a nice feature.
Talk a little bit about availability of classes. The earlier you come.
Exactly. Yeah. Classes do fill up. We, I don't want to say we have limited classes, but we have limited seats in some of the classes, especially with the sciences, with the labs. They have to have space to really spread out out and do that work. So the earlier the better with those. Also online classes, we have a big selection of online classes. Those also can fill up, but that's becoming more and more popular. Some students do just online, some do a combination of online and on-campus classes, and then some really just come here and hang out all day and take classes just with us in person, and so that's good too.
The college experience of going on the campus and being able to socialize, it's hard to beat that, and you just don't get that. Obviously, you don't get that with an online class, but great advantages for both.
Oh wow, yeah. Online classes have become so popular. Just people are so busy, you know, and students that work or have children and they can't get away, they can take those classes from home. They just need a computer with internet access, and there's some other specs that maybe would be involved in that. But really, our library, we have computers for students to use, so sometimes they'll just come there and do some of their online work. But yes, it's not like it used to be, for
it's
sure.
Not like it used to be. Yes,
but we
correct.
want students to choose what they're comfortable with.
Again, fall registration. We're in the middle of summer, and you go, well, fall. Well, it's not too far away. It's coming up.
It's just a few weeks, really, and it will be here before we know it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people vacationing and stuff, so we want them to do it now while it's on their mind.
Take advantage of it, because now's a great time, because we have time here to give you the individual attention. We'll always have time to give you individual attention, but it's just a great time to get in here and get your classes done, and you don't have to hurry, and you get it all done. One-stop shop at UACCB. I like
That's right. That's
She's Jane Brewer. She's at the college at the University of Arkansas. We're at the Community College in Batesville. Thanks for taking time to visit with us.
Thanks for coming.
Let's continue on with more of the show. And we continue on with the business spotlight. Miss Jan Jackson Maris at Jackson's Funeral Home. Always a pleasure to come down and visit with you. And we've been talking for 30 minutes prior to us getting on the air here about this, that, and the other, and rehashing and having good times. And we're filming on July the 3rd, Miss Jan.
We are.
And the day before Independence Day, July the 4th, and then I had thought up of something coming in about how long you guys had been, your family has been serving the folks in Newport, Jackson County, Northeast Arkansas. And as we celebrate our almost 240th year of the country, you guys have been here for 60 plus years, which is 1/4 of how long our country's been here. That's pretty good, girl.
That's a pretty long time. And this business has treated us very well. We have the best friends in the world. We have the most loyal clientele in the world. They treat us like family when they come in here, and we hope we treat them like family. That's our intention. And I think we do that. And I do not know of anything I would have rather done for the past 28 years, and I'm glad to be 28 years out of 60.
Absolutely.
Myself.
Yeah, that's pretty good in itself. Almost half. You've been here almost half of it.
That's impossible.
That is. Hey, well, let's just, and I know we've talked about it before, but talk a little bit about the history and the beginning. And I know we've talked about it several times, but it's always unique to look back on where you were and how you got to where you are today. And it's been a great run for your family.
It really has. It really has. Well, number one, it got here by a whole lot of people's very, very hard work. And it started, my dad was in World War II, and in the 40s, in 45, 44, 45, well, he went the whole 4 years, but my granddaddy went over to do an audit of the Newport Funeral Home. And when he went over there, whoever was the manager, and I don't know that name, but whoever the manager was, just quit showing up. And my granddaddy, Jackson, Alvis Jackson, called the people who owned the funeral home. And he said, this man that's supposed to be keeping this funeral home open didn't showing up. And they said, well, Mr. Jackson, would you keep it open for us? And he said, well, yeah, I believe I would. Sure. And he did so much, and he was such a personable, fun man.
Right.
Well, he kind of fell in love with it. And then when my dad came home from World War II, he decided that he wanted to be a doctor. He had been a medic during the war.
Okay.
And he took his GI Bill and went to Fayetteville, and he just couldn't concentrate. You know, now I'm sure they'd call that PTSD or whatever,
Right.
but your time to get your thoughts back, and he wasn't going to spend good money after bad and go back when he didn't perform as well as he thought he should.
Right.
So he came home and started working in the funeral business and decided to go to mortuary school. And he always told me about hitchhiking all the way to Nashville.
Wow.
And he would ride a certain portion. He would ride the train to somewhere, and I'll have to go back and look at my notes because I can't remember.
Right, yeah.
And then he would get on a bread truck with a friend of his and ride the bread truck to Newport.
Is
Because
that
it
right?
saved money.
Yeah, absolutely.
To save money.
Absolutely.
And in 46, he and Granddaddy bought the funeral home. And in 58, they moved from Front Street, Newport, Arkansas,
Yes.
to 1910 Malcolm Avenue.
Right.
And in the late 70s, the Ms. Leo sold them this building that we're in, where our offices are. And in the 80s, he remodeled the funeral home
Right.
and put all that old brick he had collected
Right.
for all those
Right.
years on there. And it's just continued and continued, and after his death, he already had the plans drawn for the walkway to go between the buildings.
Right.
And we went ahead and completed that, and we have just continued to grow every year. That was something he taught us, was just to continually grow, continue to do better. Don't be satisfied with doing things the same old way.
Right, right. Well, isn't it amazing though that you look at somebody, and then this many years later you look back at the plan, and that really wasn't the plan. And that wasn't the plan for 60 years later that we've got a granddaughter and a daughter sitting talking about a business. I mean, the plan was him to become a doctor and go on. And but it's just amazing how plans work out. But it obviously it's meant to be. You guys are doing it right. Y'all doing a pretty good job, I guess.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you. Well, I mean, my grandmother Jackson Verne worked in the funeral home.
Right.
She, way back in the 60s, the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the funeral homes also ran the ambulance service.
Right, right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
there was just a whole lot to it, and times have changed.
The motto, which is so true, our family serving your family. As simple as that may be said or heard, it means a world full. It's just a world full of information there. Our family serving your family. Y'all done that.
We have certainly tried. I think we've got some big shoes to fill, and we keep trying. And I tell you what, it's not just our blood family.
Right.
It's the other people who work here, because they're our family too, and we could not do this without all of them. And I value every employee at Jackson's Funeral Home to the highest degree.
Well,
you could not find people who cared more about the job that they do.
Now, Rhett still works here, doesn't he?
Oh, well, you know,
Okay,
on occasion,
we'll put
he
the
just
jokes in
passed
there.
by the door.
Rhett Maris talked about a lifetime friend of mine, and Rhett obviously married into the business and continues to do a marvelous job with the company. And when you talk about a family business, that's what it is. And just like you say, not just a blood family, but everybody that works here is part of y'all's family. And
They are.
Our
They
family
absolutely
serving your
are.
family. You know, it's always good to hear the story, because I know how proud you are of where you are today because of your heritage and your livelihood, and came from some people that taught you well.
They did. My mother worked here.
Yeah, absolutely.
For over 40 years.
Right.
My brother, my sister worked here for a period of time. All the grandkids have come through here in stuffed envelopes, and actually we have one here today working in the summer, McCabe Cordell, my great nephew. So I'm very proud of him, and
good
proud to
looking
have
young
him here.
man, isn't he?
Very best looking young man
He's
you've
good
ever
looking.
seen.
Yeah, we talked to him before we came in to do the interview. He's a great, good athlete, good student, good kid. I mean, just all around. Kids love him, and nice to have kids like that in your family.
It sure is.
Folks
I'm
you
very
trust
grateful.
and love. You bet. Always a pleasure to get to see you,
Thank
and
you,
especially on a
David.
big holiday. Our country's going to celebrate 238 years on tomorrow when we film. We filmed on the 3rd, and tomorrow's a big holiday, and
It's always a good time to reflect at Jackson's Funeral Home and look at where you started years ago and where you are. And a fourth, that's just amazing to me that you guys have been here. This company has been here for a fourth as long as this country has been here. That's a good length of time. Congratulations.
Thank you, David.
Miss Jan Jackson Maris on the Business Spotlight. Rebecca Payroll joins us on the Business Spotlight to talk about happenings at the Harris Hospital in downtown Newport, Arkansas. Welcome, girl, to the program. How you been?
I'm doing good. It's summertime. Life's good.
It is summertime, and it has not been a bad summer. Matter of fact, the temperature as we speak today was going to be about 85, 86 degrees. We filmed a little bit before the 4th of July, and they say on the 4th, 80 degrees.
That's right.
When's the last time you remember 4th of July at 80?
Looks like a wonderful weekend.
It's going to be a good weekend. But we've got stuff we need to talk about, and I'm talking about exciting stuff when it comes to Healthy Woman. First of all, tell us again, what is Healthy Woman? Tell us about that.
Well, Healthy Woman is an affinity program sponsored by Harris Hospital, where it's a community outreach where we target young ladies, 25 to 65. We consider that whole age range, young ladies.
That's young.
And that's to empower women to make good decisions and choices for their family as far as health care. Part of this is they get newsletters from me every month, and it's topics relating to health care that help women make good decisions and choices for their families. We do special events. Healthy Woman members are always the first to know about our events, get the first opportunity to attend events. And this program has really, really grown in the last couple of years.
No doubt it has.
So we now today have 16 partners, and what that means is it's business partners here in Newport that help us provide these special events for women. So the first year I did it, we had Abby Reich off The Biggest Loser, which that's a pretty big name.
Absolutely.
Sell out, 250. Last year we had Etta May off of CMT, the comedian.
Hilarious.
That was a very fun event. We moved venues because we needed about 50 more seats, so we sold that out. This year, we're just really blowing it out of the water, and it is because of these 16 wonderful partners that we have here in Newport that we're able to bring such big names to Jackson County, and this is going to be a big event, not only for Healthy Woman members, but we think a wide county audience is going to come in for this event. But I do want to thank these corporate partners for helping us. We have ASU Newport, St. Michael's Place, George Kell Motors, M&P Bank, Bratcher Real Estate, the Pink Poodle, and Purdy's, and Darling's Fine Things and Pharmacy, Arkansas Steel Associates, Lindley Health and Rehab, Cherie's Emporium, Jackson's Funeral Home, Shelter Insurance, Rejuvenation Fitness and Spa, Dirksen Hospice. And we're just thrilled to death to have that kind of support.
You can't have this program without those people supporting. It just makes it so much easier. You can have a program, but when you've got that type of community support, it allows you to do the special things. And we're going to talk about this special event that's coming up, give you times and dates of the next one, and reveal the special guests that we have coming on next. But these folks are vitally important to the success of our program.
We have been able in the last 2 years too to add a second event. You know, we've always done the annual event in August, the big event, and then the last 2 years we've started Paint the Town Red in February for Women's Heart Health Awareness. February, Valentine's Day, that has traditionally become the month to do that, and we just anticipate it growing and growing, you know, more and more. I have a Healthy Woman Council, an advisory council of 21 ladies, and that's another reason that it's just been so successful for me, and I'm deeply appreciative.
Absolutely.
I am very excited to tell you that on August the 2nd, we're going to have Missy Robertson from the Duck Dynasty. A&E's Duck Dynasty is going to be here. You know, they have some local connections here in Arkansas with Harding, George Kell Motors, who is a partner of Healthy Woman. And so we were able to get her to come and be our presentation on August 2nd. You don't want to miss this. You want to purchase your tickets soon because they're already selling. Every time I sit down and look at my email, it's selling. So
where's it going to be? Where we're going to host this event?
So this year we're back at ASU Newport, and ASU Newport is very kindly in-kind partnered with us to provide provide all their facilities. And this has gotten so big that it's going to be in the auditorium because that seats 600.
Right.
So we're very, very excited to be able to do that. The event will start about 4:30.
Okay.
We're going to have a women's expo, which is like a vendor fair over in the cafeteria in the Student Community Center.
Right.
And in the M&P room, which is in the same building at the Community Student Center of ASU, is the hors d'oeuvres. This year it's heavy hors d'oeuvres. And the ladies that attended Paint the Town Red at Village Mall, that was a very, very special, nice,
Absolutely was.
upscale,
Yes.
beautiful hors d'oeuvres. And it's going to be heavy hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
And so we will be doing that. Hors d'oeuvre hour starts at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
We have 2 different levels of tickets. Regular admission tickets, $35.
Okay.
And then we have special meet and greet backstage pass tickets for
Okay.
$55.
Wow.
So there's a limit of 100. When you go online to purchase your tickets, you'll have the option of doing a regular ticket or a backstage pass ticket. And those will sell out very, very quickly.
I bet they will.
So maximum of 100. And don't delay, because we do anticipate it's going to be a sellout event. People are going to come from multiple counties over.
Now tell us how you talk about register online or buy the tickets online. How do we do that? How do we do that?
Go to harrishospital.com.
Okay.
And Healthy Woman Events, it'll be right there. You can register. That's the easiest way. And then we're also promoting this on social media and
Right.
digital media, and there will be links readily available. All you have to do there is click, and it goes directly to purchase the tickets.
Okay. If somebody doesn't have a computer and they just happen to see something on TV, or can they call and get a ticket? Is that a possibility also? How would they do
Give me
that?
a call.
Okay.
My number is 870-512-3081, and I will get you registered.
Good deal. Good. It should be an exciting time, and especially if you talk about it, if you could sell out with 600 people, I mean, that would be amazing. But with ASU, it's a great place to show off our community by hosting it there. We have a lot of people out there, and what a partner they have become on this program, and a big help, ASU Newport, no doubt.
There's a whole lot of mutually beneficial results from bringing all these partners in, because we bring all these people to Newport that otherwise may not have migrated into town. They're going to be here for that evening. They may eat dinner here. They may do some shopping here. It gives those partners an opportunity also to set up their booths and awareness of their business in front of this audience of 500 or 600 ladies.
All right.
So just exposure. It's good exposure for Newport.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Tell us again the date, and tell us how to get tickets again.
August the 2nd. It's on a Saturday.
Okay.
Traditionally, it's been on a Thursday. This year, because of her contract, she only does weekends.
Right.
So it's the first Saturday in August on the 2nd. Go to harrishospital.com, go to the Healthy Woman parts, right up there on the first page, and you can purchase your tickets there.
Fantastic. Rebecca Payroll, it's always a pleasure to get to see you here at Harris Hospital, and I know that you work diligently with all these folks here and people within the community to make our Harris Hospital our hospital of choice, and it's nice to know that you guys are here.
We are happy to serve Jackson County.
Rebecca Payroll at Harris Hospital. It's a great opportunity, and if you don't know this lady right here, I don't know if you know anything about Newport Public Schools or Newport in general. This is Janice Johnson, and Janice sometimes doesn't have anything to say, but I don't know that that's really the case, because Janice has always got an opinion about something, and it's usually a good opinion. How are you, girl?
I'm good. I'm very good, Mr. Black. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. St. Michael's Place, Pecan Street, that's where we are. That's what we want to talk about. You have some experience with St. Michael's Place, but tell all the folks who don't know what you do and what you do there. What do you do?
Well, I used to, when in like 2010, before that time, I would come out here and we would do bingo. I'd call the numbers with the members that they have out here, and my uncle and I would come out here, and he'd get to enjoy and visit with people. And I had another uncle out here was here, and then my grandfather was out here during that time. Everybody knew everybody, and we just kind of just have a family affair out here. And the people were accepted us us in and said that I could come over here and do what activities they do, and we can do it together and stuff like that, and we just have a good time.
Well, you have a good time, and you're at a good place. And talk a little bit about the people here and how you say you have relatives here, you have good friends here, you have people, and you said a while ago, and they're still here and they like it here. But tell about like your grandfather he's on the rehab process.
Yes, my grandfather's on the rehab side, and sometimes he has a weakness in his legs, and they've been doing the strengthening for him. And he's a diabetic. They make sure that's monitored, and they do the physical therapy with him. Right. Of course, he's 99 years old. 99. And August the 16th, my grandfather this year going to be 100 years old.
Is that right?
Yes, he's going to be 100 years old. And I just went out and shaved him a while ago, and because he likes to keep his appearance up. And he wants me to shave him.
Is that right?
And I told him, I said, well, the other ladies would do that. No, let them do the other stuff. You just come shave me.
Is that right?
So I'll make sure that I shave him like every 2 days because he needs it. And a while ago, he told me, your hand's cold. I said, oh, Grandpa, I'm in love. He said, well, you need to go in and warm up. He said, you need to go warm up, Mr. Black. I said, well, I'm through now. He said, good.
Well, there's no doubt when you come, you have fun and you see what kind of fun that they have at St. Michael's Place.
And the people out here are very concerned about the residents here. Right. It's nothing that you ask that they won't do or try to find out how they can do it for them. I had last one time, they had one lady here, when Grandpa was here before, and he had this dryness. So I went home and I thought about it. I went back to the old school. I called her, I said, go get him a jar of Vaseline, put a half a bottle of castor oil and stir it up. I said, now you go down and you grease him up real good. And he won't say Janice, he called me Jonas. He said, Jonas, that woman had me so greasy I was sliding off the bed. I said, ma'am, would you cut back on the Vaseline? He said, Ron, don't say nothing. I said, yeah, I'm going to ask her, would she cut back on? So the next time I come out to see him, I said, well, how's your greasing process coming on? Yes. He said, oh, it's right. It's just right now. It's not too much, just enough.
You got to make adjustments from time to time, don't you?
He said, but it worked. My skin is not dry no more, baby. I'm all right. I said, well, good. He said, what did you tell her to get? I said, I told her to get some Vaseline and some castor oil and mix it up and grease you like a baby. He said, she did. She almost overdid it. But he's happy. He tells me he got friends out here that he sits around, he talks to, and a lot of the nurses know him, and they come in there and talk to him, and he loves the administrator, Miss Amanda, and the rest of them, and her daughter and the rest of the ladies. He roll down that hall and see everybody and check them out.
Well, when you're here, there's some people here short term.
Yes.
Some people here long term. Mm-hmm. And he obviously short term doing the rehab part. And talk a little bit about the rehab and how that goes.
At the rehab, they take him down every maybe 2 or 3 days a week for so many hours. They work with him on his strengthening of his hands and the walking part and his legs, and he do the exercise. They have exercise machines that he does with his legs, and if he get tired, they rest and they start back, and then they get up and walk him down the hall. Somebody's on both sides. He can walk, but the weakness, they don't want him at the fall. They fall risk. They don't want him to, fall or get off balance. But he does pretty good, for 99 going finna be 100. He does very well, and they monitor him even after he goes home, to see how that everything's going with him. They just don't just let you go home and say, okay, they at home, they not in here no more. They're gonna do a follow-up. They're gonna do a follow-up and see if there's anything else that we need, they can assist you with.
Miss Doris Borders did a testimony for St. Michael's Place several months ago, just simply outstanding of what she had to say about how well she was treated, and went from not really knowing the unknown to felt at home in just a matter of a few days.
Yes, yes.
And I'm sure you see that also in residents.
Yes, and
talk a little bit about that.
A lot of the people that's here now working, I used to work with them in mental health.
Right.
I said, so it's kind of like a double dutch. They know how we had to deal with some of the things that were going on with the patients, that needs that need to be met, and that's a good thing. Absolutely. Because you have people that's already been out the experience, know what to do, and then won't have to so much pinpoint and tell them what is expected. the aspect of knowing that, well, if I can't get it done, I can get somebody else to come in and do what needs to be done, instead of just turning you loose. Well, I can't help you and nobody else can help you. So if we're finished with this portion, you have to leave here and go somewhere else. That's not the case.
Right.
They're gonna go that last mile.
Absolutely.
They'll go that last mile and make sure that things are straight.
So you're making a good recommendation for St.
Yes, I am. And
it's a good place.
It is a good place. It's a good homely place.
Yes.
It's homely. It's so homely. Like, hey, I can go there and ask them to let me have a bed when I want to run away from my house.
And you would, girl.
Plus, they might have me in the kitchen cooking, but that'll be all right. That'll be just fine. It wouldn't bother me none at all.
I appreciate you so much for taking time to talk about, how your relatives are being taken care of.
Very, very pleased with it.
Absolutely.
I recommend the house. Not because some of the people I work with end up coming here working, but the people before them were good to them.
Right.
Too, because he have been at them more than one time.
Absolutely.
And each time things have been all right.
Good deal.
Things have been, and they do. I think one time he's out here for respite care, which is good. If we have to go somewhere, I know that he's going to be monitored.
Absolutely.
And everything's going to be on the even key.
Absolutely.
And you can always, if you can't make that day to see them, you can always call and ask how are they doing, and they'll tell you whether their progress was this today, or you might need to do this because I think something else is going on, and just keep your update on it.
I told you in the beginning of this interview that Janice Johnson would have an opinion on something, I guarantee you. Good to see you, girl.
Good to see you.
Going good. Everything just wonderful. Everything just lovely.
Yes,
in the year.
Yes, and Dr. Black is all right with
Dr.
me.
Black is all right. I appreciate it. We're at St. Michael's Place, Pecan Street in Newport. This is with Mr. Ted Hall from White River Area Agency on Aging in Batesville, and my friend, always
good to see you, sir. Absolutely.
How you doing, sir?
I'm well. I just got back from vacation.
How was that?
Hey, I went to Hoover Dam, went to Grand Canyon, and just had a big time in that whole area. So yeah, good to be back, and we had all my family, and then also my sister from up in Branson was there, and her husband. So we had a great time.
Bud Black tells me that when you see the Grand Canyon,
unbelievable.
He says it is.
You think it's a big hole in the earth, but it is that, but it's much more.
It's a lot more. And he said you don't understand until you see
absolutely,
it. You can see all the pictures you want.
That's right.
But until you stand there, so I bet it was an awesome experience.
It was. We had a great time, and it's good to be back.
I bet it is.
We got a big event coming up here.
We do.
July the 9th.
Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. Actually, it's a week from this Wednesday. We'll be celebrating 35 years here with White River Area Agency on Aging, and that's really a milestone, I would say. And you've been working with our agency for a long time,
yes,
David.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And we really do provide a lot of quality services for people. And I've just been here about 6 months.
Right.
But I am excited. I've been learning lots about how all this works, and it's really exciting to be a part of our agency and serving people. And the big thing, David, people want to stay home as long as they can, as far as either staying home or going to a nursing home. And we understand that, and we can provide the services for people. And the biggest thing that we do, David, is that we actually, when we get a call or a referral, we actually go out and visit with the folks in their homes, and that way that gives them a chance to have all the people that are involved in making decisions about what mom or dad needs. And so by us being there, we actually can evaluate even the point that they may see a rug that needs to be moved because somebody could fall with that.
Absolutely.
And people, that's our business. So we can do a lot of things for people. And again, somebody's been doing something right for 35 years to keep this organization going, and we're going strong. And of course, we have a lot of other services besides in-home services. But we run the Eagle Mountain Assisted Living,
sure,
which is just a great place. And we also have our housing units, which are located in the 10-county area. We have about 188 of those. And so, again, we just do a lot for seniors, and it's exciting to be a part of that.
Well, Mr. Ted, you mentioned the celebration. If you're watching prior to July the 9th, the celebration will be here in Batesville.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a big time. And if you're watching after that, and that's kind of like what we're talking about here, but we invite you to come by for the celebration.
Absolutely. And we're working with the Chamber of Commerce, Crystal Johnson, and they'll have their ambassadors here. We're going to have a big tent out here in front of the building, and John 316 are going to be here to cook hamburgers and hot dogs.
You bet.
And then we're going to have a lot of people that representatives from our county government and city government, a lot of guests like that. And then also we're going to be celebrating and recognizing Cassie Creighton, who was the longtime chair of the board here. And of course we're going to have her family here, and we're going to have a special presentation to her family, and really just to say thank you and celebration of Cassie's life. And of course she was a professor out here at Lyon College, and so we're excited about that. But yet what you said, David, July 9th is the exact day that we're celebrating here in Batesville, but actually this whole year we'll be celebrating 35 years of doing service to the people of Independence County and the 10-county area that we serve. So we're excited about that. We're going to have celebrations at each of our counties throughout the month of July and August, and so we'll be talking more about that in our next programs. But anyway, we're excited about being here. We're excited about our celebration next Wednesday, and we're excited about being a part of your program that you do every month for us, David.
Well, Mr. Ted, you're quite welcome and enjoy doing it. And you know, when you talk about senior citizens, you talk about, I mean, all seniors are dear to everyone's heart. And you guys, for 35 years, that is a long time. It tells me and it tells everybody this organization is doing something more than just right. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do, taking folks, making sure that they can stay in their homes in a safe manner. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization. You guys are doing great things in a 10-county area for 35 years. That's good stuff, my friend.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff. Mr. Ted Hall, good to see you, sir.
Always good to see you, David.
White River Area Agency on Aging on July the 9th. Big celebration here. If you're watching after that, folks, come by anytime and visit with these. If you need their services, come to White River Area Agency on Aging. NEDC, downtown Newport, John Chadwell. And before we got on, we talked a little bit, John, about a few things going on in town that dealt with construction and progress. We've got it going on right now. This is a busy time for economic development in our little old town, is it not?
Well, it is. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and you can't hardly drive to any part of town without seeing something happening around town. You've got the construction at the old Walmart building that's going on that a lot of people are watching, and they give me reports almost weekly. You've got the Murphy Oil that's getting ready to open probably by the time this airs.
Absolutely.
Close to being open, and people watch that construction going on. You've got the old Burgess Tire building coming down, and something hopefully going into that spot. You got the county jail that had a groundbreaking, so construction starting on that, and you're getting to see some activity. The new bridge downtown, we hear them pounding the pylons in just about every day here, and making that bridge secure and getting ready to build it. So, and the new sidewalks downtown.
Yeah, I saw that. Boy, they're tearing that out, and you got to tear up sometimes before you rebuild. And we're tearing some stuff up, and we're rebuilding too.
We are, and then the sidewalks that are there have been there 75 or 80 years. So you're seeing that come out, and you're seeing new ones go in, and so it's just it's a big time. And then our new vision program this year had some projects, and so we had the merchants in May that actually happened in June because of the rain. But they had a successful event. You had a class or a group that worked on replacing some signs, and they've helped some business owners in town get some new signage, and then one group worked on putting a fountain in this old well downtown right behind us here as we interview, and that'll be up and running by the time this show airs, so you'll need to come downtown and see the fountain. It's really going to be a neat thing and a neat attraction for downtown. So there's just a ton of stuff going on. You can see what Ed Williams is doing on the corner there.
Absolutely.
Beautifying by Sherwin-Williams, and he's just doing that all on his own to make it look better. So everywhere we turn around, somebody's doing something to improve Newport and make it look better, and that's great.
Ed redid the little service station downtown where the bridges are, the old bridge, the blue bridge, and the new bridge is coming, and he's got a place on 2nd Street that he has redone. He's just trying to get some stuff that he might be able to rent out, some nice looking. But, when you talk about construction and you say, well, what economic development, what does that help? Well, there's people working, there's people that have a lot of that stuff's local. A lot of the stuff people have come in, and when they come in, they stay in motels, they eat at restaurants, they spend money, they go to Walmart, they do other retail business right here. So the construction part alone has been had a tremendous economic impact on our community.
Well, it has. You've got a lot of those workers for some of the projects that are out of town.
Sure.
And they do stay in, but a lot of the, especially the commercial construction, has asked us repeatedly for list of contractors or for us to put out to contractors that they want to use local subcontractors in.
Right.
And that's great. That helps our local subcontractors find work closer to home. I know some of them are used to driving to Jonesboro or Batesville or Searcy to work, and when they can find jobs, and 2 or 3 of them real close to home, that makes a big difference. And so we're glad that kind of stuff is happening that allows them to really be part of the progress of Newport.
Something else that really just not directly affected NEDC, but lots of school projects have been going on rebuilding and refurbishing and just renewing our school. I've had a lot of people talk about the football field, but let me tell you what, the football field is one of many, many things that I walked in the auditorium the other day over there. It's just sparkling. It's going to be brand new, and they're redoing the Tech Science building, the John Mullins Tech Science building. So a lot of construction going on over there too.
There is. There's just all kinds of stuff happening, and I know somebody came up and said, "Well, tell me something good that's going on in Newport." And I just started, and about 10, 15 minutes later, I got done. They're like, "Well, okay," because it's an effect that trickles down. You're in the advertising business, basically, media and advertising. Well, when we get a new business here and a new business here and a new business here and a new business here, that's new clients for you to go call on and get some advertising dollars that are going to want to advertise. They're going to hire some people. Each of those places is going to hire some people. You look out on the interstate as you come into town, there's dirt work going on.
Right, yeah.
For 2 new car dealerships.
That's right.
And that's going to be a big improvement. And what that's going to do is people come into Newport, it's going to kind of dress up the interstate area, and it's going to make us, people are going to say, oh, look, there's something going on. Yeah. And so all of this works together, and it builds our image, it builds our community, it gives more opportunities for people here in town to find employment, to shop, to work. And we still go after the manufacturing jobs.
Right, sure.
And those are important. And we're so thankful that we've got some really good, strong companies like Arkansas Steel and Medallion Foods and Norandol, and a lot of those companies have been here for a long time working. And then some of the smaller companies, TaylorMade Ambulance and Delta Manufacturing and Allen Manufacturing, a lot of these that fit in and do some great manufacturing jobs, and we work with them to try to help them be able maybe to grow their business, to add some more jobs. We look for new ones to come in. But one of the reflections of whether a community is growing are those things translating into retail, because retail doesn't come until they feel like there's the money in the community.
Right.
They're coming to make money, and so they'll follow the money. And once they feel like there's money in the community to be made, then they're going to show up. So as we see these retail things showing up, that means they think there's money in the community to be made.
Absolutely. Well, it's a busy time of year, and let me tell you what, if you don't think a lot's going on, you just hadn't been out, just drive down the highway and look and say, oh, I didn't realize that, but boy, there's something going on, and there's something going on there, and there's down here, and you just remind me of 2 or 3 things. And especially you mentioned the dealerships and the dirt work, but a lot of good positive things going on right here in Newport, Arkansas. Get on board, folks, with us and enjoy the ride. It's a fun ride. Let's make a positive run on this thing.
We're all part of it. It's the NEDC would not exist without every citizen in town.
That's right.
And the one that voted on the tax for economic development, we've used that. And it's been slower than some people want. Boy, they want to see that change.
Sure.
But as we've built, you can see now a lot of those things that have been worked on for a while are coming to fruit, and it's making a big difference.
Before we get out of here, how's the health?
Going well.
Good.
A little bit better every day.
Exercising every day?
Yes, sir.
Extra-sizing is what I got. You get that extra.
That's absolutely.
John Chadwell, NEDC, it's always a pleasure to get down or to come down and get to visit with you and talk about the great things going on in Newport. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Continue on more with the Business Spotlight. Sandy Robinson, Kentucky Fried Chicken, in the curve, as we always say. Newport, Arkansas, and we love to come in and talk about chicken. You know, I did have somebody ask me last week, they said, you and Sandy talk about chicken.
I hear it all the time.
And I said, yeah, that's what we talk about. That's what we do chicken at KFC. We do some fish at KFC, but mostly we talk about chicken.
Yep, chicken and buffet.
That's right. What's going on in the chicken world?
Well, a lot. There's getting ready to be a lot starting around first week of July.
Cool, let's talk about it.
Okay, well, first of all, buffet. We have got our buffet open from 10 to 3.
Okay.
Everybody knows that in this town, right?
Right.
7 days a week. We have lowered the prices. The senior buffet is only $4.99.
$5.
$5.50 with tax if you drink water. Does not include a drink.
Right.
And the one of us that aren't the quite yet senior citizens.
I qualify for the senior citizens, is what you're saying.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. It's 55 or older seniors, by the way.
I'm in.
You're not either.
Yes, I am.
But anyways, well, I'm not yet. But the regular adult buffets are $5.99.
Wow.
So $6 and change or $5 and change if you drink water. If not, we've got our iced tea. We've got, you know, the sodas. And
all right, what's the catch? There's a limit on how many pieces of chicken you can eat, is
no catches whatsoever.
What?
That's dine-in only, though.
You mean to tell me, and my famous saying I always say, you mean to tell me that for that amount of money, and I am a senior citizen, I am 58.
Oh, good
you
Lord.
mean to tell me for $5 I can come in and eat 13 pieces of chicken if I want?
50 cents. I might charge you an extra 50 cents, though, just because it's you.
That is a bargain.
But you have to buy your tea, though. You have to get your
I had to spend a little bit more for tea. But that'd be all right.
But if you ate buffet, you want grilled chicken. And what do you got to do if you want grilled chicken?
You have to ask. And when you ask, you shall receive.
Yep.
I go, I don't see any grilled chicken out here. There's not any grilled chicken on the buffet. Oh, yes.
Yep.
We'll bring you a couple of pieces.
Yep.
Yeah, not any livers out here. Oh, yes, we got some liver. You take care of you folks, don't you?
I try.
Great prices on the buffet.
Great prices on the buffet.
What else is going on? Man, you got a list, an array.
I know. Now, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this.
Well, let's just deal it.
Okay. We have got a $5 fill-up box. Here's another $5 thing.
There you go.
Okay. You can get, which it'll all be listed, y'all. Just so remember, $5 fill-up, and we'll go from there.
We're going to fill it up with some stuff?
There's one. Each one of these comes with a 8-ounce, not the individual, the next size up.
Okay.
Potatoes and gravy.
Okay.
Only. A biscuit, a drink, and a cookie.
Okay, get all that with each one of these.
You get all that with each, well, let me rephrase that. Yeah, the chicken and the strips.
Okay.
Now the pot pie and the other one's different.
Okay.
Doesn't have side.
Cool.
But you get a chicken breast, original crispy or grilled, a drumstick and a thigh, original crispy or grilled.
Wow.
And 3 chicken tenders. And each one of those comes with potatoes, gravy, biscuit, drink, and a chocolate chip cookie.
Wow.
And if I'm not mistaken, you can on the drinks for like 14 cents more or 10 cents more, make it a large. Get you a large drink.
Breast meal, drumstick, thigh meal, 3-piece tender meal, $5. What else we got?
Then we've got, these are the 2 good ones because we've sold I don't know how many famous bowl, a medium drink and a cookie for $5, and the pot pie. Medium drink and a cookie for $5.
You can't do that with a pot pie.
You've got a full meal. You got your meat, you got your drinks, you got your dessert.
For $5.
Yeah, plus tax, $5.
Price of the buffet's gone down.
Yep.
We're talking $5 around here. A little bit extra for the younger folks on the buffet, but for us people who have met the senior citizen age limit, should we say, qualify for the $4.99 plus tax, plus the iced tea, which is simply, let me say this. Iced tea at Kentucky Fried Chicken is the best iced tea in the world. Best iced tea in the world.
See, I like sweet tea and I like it, and you like unsweetened tea and you like it. So evidently, we do something right.
Y'all are doing something right with your tea. You do something right with your chicken
too. Well, you can even like on the other one special, we've got the you get 2 free large side items.
Right.
Along with what it already comes with.
Right.
With a 10-piece meal, a 12-piece meal, or a 16-piece meal. And you can get a half gallon of sweet tea, unsweetened tea, whichever you prefer, for $1.99.
Want to go on a picnic? It'd be a pretty neat deal with it.
And the large drinks are $1.99 of tea. So why not go ahead and get you a couple half gallons?
Absolutely.
Hey, I'll give you some cups of ice, take it down the park. Enjoy it. But each one of those meals, the 10-piece, 12-piece, and 16-piece, you get 2 free large side items. So instead of the 12-piece come with 3 large sides and 6 biscuits, you're going to be getting 5 large sides and 6 biscuits. And we do have the potatoes, gravy, coleslaw, baked beans, green beans, whole kernel corn, corn on the cob, but you like green beans.
Oh, I love the green beans.
Love green beans.
I love the green beans.
We got the macaroni and cheese. We got potato wedges. A lot of people don't know, but we've got Long John Silver onion rings you can order for, a side item for KFC.
Sure.
We work as much as we can, to get people exactly what they want.
If you're hungry, folks, if you're hungry and you want it at a bargain, it's good stuff at the regular price, but we're running specials here for the next several weeks. Come take advantage of all these specials.
Till August 18th.
August the 18th.
Yeah, it's going to go all on till August 18th.
Come take advantage of some $5 boxes. Take advantage of the buffet at a discount. Take advantage of great food, great chicken, great service, great people. KFC Newport. She's Sandy Robinson. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Continue on with more of the Business Spotlight. Dillinger Funeral Home, Tommy Allen, and we get to visit each and every month and talk about what's going on at Dillinger Funeral Home in the many, many years. We've talked about it countless times on this program of serving people in Newport, Jackson County, Northeast Arkansas. My friend, good to see you again, Tommy.
Good to see you, David.
You and I were discussing a little bit before we got on the air about choices that all of us have to make, and every day there are choices that you go home and you discuss with your family, and then you research, a major choice in your life, whether it's buying a new car or some type of purchase or something along that line. But when you make these choices, you get a lot of time to study. You kind of go back and forth and you can debate and discuss and so on and so forth. And then you and I decided that in this business, this is not one of those businesses that you get a lot of time to discuss and research, and because when it happens unexpectedly, you got to have some professional folks there that know how to make it work. That's what you guys do. Talk a little bit about that, Tommy.
It's death is a thing that people don't want to talk about.
Do not.
You could even be terminally ill and not want to talk about death is not going to happen.
Right.
We always have the hope and our wishes are that we get better, which is not always the case. And so you have a situation where you have a loved one that's passed away, and things start happening real quick. You have to make decisions on the spot. You have to, you're not thinking about tomorrow or the next day. You're thinking about what I have to do right now.
Right now.
And so you don't have a lot of time to think about it. Dillinger Funeral Home, we want to treat your family the way we treat our family, with the utmost dignity and caring, as our professional staff will go the great lengths to tailor a service that reflects the life of the person that we're paying tribute to, and our staff goes the extra mile to make sure that we get personalized service for every family.
Well, and you guys do that. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And very difficult if you're sitting at a table and you are the one having to make the decisions. And like you say, it's not something that you see, whether it's how the service is going to be, where the burial is going to be, what type of casket that you're going to get. I mean, because there's different types, and what would reflect the life of that loved one. And then all of a sudden, you on your end, you say, well, I need a decision. And I can't go home and, well, let me get back with you next week on that.
Yeah, that's not an option.
No.
But here, one of the things about being a good funeral director is the ability to listen. And when you have family sitting around the table and they're talking about their loved one and the memories and the things they like to do and just in conversation, then the funeral director has the opportunity to recommend things that would be nice for the service, that would say this is Dad or this is Mom.
Right.
And that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in, being able to do that. We do it on a daily basis.
Let me ask you a question, and it's got off the cuff, and we haven't discussed this. And when you sit down and you visit with people, and generally when you do that, there's always there's a leader of the bunch. Generally, I would think,
Yes.
and the leader kind of, what do you want to do? If there are disagreements, if there were a disagreement, how are things like that handled? That's a real delicate situation.
It is a very delicate situation. On a, for the lack of a better term, good day.
Right. Yeah.
Family comes in, and between the 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them, 8 of them, whatever there is,
Yeah.
they talk about what they want, and is this good for you, or would it be okay if we played this song, or is it okay if we leave the casket open during the service, and
little
sometimes just
little.
The details that it takes to, and there's so many that people don't realize that it. I start to say it's like building a house, and that's bad terminology, but you don't think you think we're going to build a house, but you don't know about the baseboard, the trim, door trim, and then
where you're going to put the electrical switches.
It just bogs up.
It does that,
and it causes stress.
Absolutely.
But you still have time to think about it and sort it out.
Sure.
With a funeral, you don't have that time. You have all these decisions to make.
Right.
And we're sitting around the table, and usually a funeral conference for me is about 2 hours, 2 hours and a half.
Right.
And so we're making all these decisions in 2 hours.
Right.
All the people that we need to contact, the pallbearers, the minister, the church, just cemetery, sexton. It just the list goes on, and you have to document this, and all of it has to be taken care of very quick.
Right.
And so, and I know, but I always talk about pre-arrangement.
Sure.
If you take care of it ahead of time, and I have families tell me all the time, I am so glad Dad took care of this ahead of time.
Absolutely.
When you come in and
then there are no disagreements.
There's no disagreements.
And very little discussion other than these are Dad's wishes and this is the way we're going to do it.
And for the most part, families want to do what Mom or Dad wanted to do, but they didn't talk about it and they don't know what that is.
Right.
But
pre-arrangement is important.
The pre-arrangement is
very important.
And it's not about the money.
Right. No, it has nothing to do with money.
It's not all about the money. You can save, literally, I've seen thousands of dollars being saved for people pre-arranged and prepaid. But the pre-arranged part is very important for the family.
Absolutely.
Because the person that has passed away has taken care of the details ahead of time. There's no question if we're doing what they wanted.
Right. What songs are there, and from the biggest details to the smallest, most minute details, generally handled. Few questions to be asked. You get it handled, and you reflect a pretty good life of those people that you're paying tribute to.
Absolutely.
Tommy Allen, always a pleasure to get to see you, my friend. Dillinger Funeral Home, folks, y'all know where we're located. We've been here for many, many years, and we continue to serve the good folks of Newport and Tuckerman, Jackson County, all of Jackson County, Northeast, North Central Arkansas, and really around the world, my friend. Tommy, good to see you.
When it really counts, we really care.
At the Dillinger Funeral Home. Dr. Gavin McDowell in the Village Mall in Newport, Arkansas is no doubt the guy, the man, the one, the only, the most famous person that I know, the most famous person on this interview trail that we do. How are you, sir? Welcome. Pardon it, but good to see you, my friend.
You too.
Oh, we got jokes, folks. We got jokes on this program.
I sat down all morning long writing new material. So.
Well, and the cue card man doesn't show up, so I guess we can just wing it.
Yeah.
So what's happening
Well,
in the winging department. What does wing it mean? Where do they get the terminology? Wing it.
Wing it. Wing it.
What does that mean? I mean, I know what it means, but how they wing it? What was it? What is that?
I think it's something like cavemanish.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, just handle it.
Yeah,
Get through.
Yeah, handle it. It's I'm sure it has something to do with a relaxed hamster. I don't know how, but something.
You're cool, brother. You're cool. Hey, listen. Hey, good to see you. Now, tell us, all the folks, and I know they know, but some of us have kind of forgotten. You're really not a comedian now, are you?
No.
Not a professional one.
No, I couldn't survive.
What do you do professionally?
Professionally, I check eyes.
You're the eye checker.
I am the eye guy.
Eye checker. Customized vision care. I like that. I've always liked that name since you changed that name because I think it's professional, it's catchy, it's customized.
Well, the whole thing is just what we do is you go get a tailored suit.
Sure.
We do tailored eyewear and eye care, and it's all about the person. It's not about everybody fits into a certain box and you go out that way. It's all about finding what works for each individual. So
well, and you customize a program for each person that comes, each patient that you have, and we're all different for sure.
Absolutely,
we're all different.
Some more different than others.
Thank you, Doc. But before we get into taking care of all I guess it's taken care of when we talk about Ray-Ban sunglasses, and we have a tremendous selection of sunglasses. Talk a little bit about this.
Well, it's summer.
Yes.
In case you hadn't noticed, it's summer and lots of sunshine when it's not raining hard. But when you're when you're out in the sun, even when it's even slightly overcast, you really need something to protect your eyes. We talked about this in the past. The UV radiation from the sun and how it rots your brain and all that stuff. But just blocking that UV radiation, keeping your eyes healthy, and keeping you comfortable and looking cool.
Yeah, looking cool, being cool. And in all fairness, at this time of year, the sunglass look is the in thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to look good in a pair of sunglasses. Nobody wants to put them on and go, well, I don't like the way these look, but I'm gonna go up. I mean, if you have what's in style, brother.
Oh yeah.
You're doing good, and you got what's in style here.
We try to keep up with the Joneses, as they say.
Sir.
Keep up with the trends, and as long as we keep you in style, then we're keeping ourselves in style, so to speak.
We film in 1st of July. The program's going to run all of July, and it just seems like that people just got out of school for the summer vacation. But it's time to get back. It's time to start thinking about back to school.
Yeah, and if you're not thinking about back to school now, you are behind,
you're behind.
on the times, because we always have a back to school rush, mostly because whenever people get out of school, they got their vacations they're going to get to and all that stuff. So right before school starts back, it's like, oh gosh, I got to get the kids in. But go ahead and jump in early. We'll get you taken care of that way. You're avoiding the rush, because it will get booked up really quick come August.
Yeah, and this show could be showing, somebody could be looking at this the 20th of July, and I mean, we're already there.
Yeah,
so school's about to start, and it just seems like it gets shorter and shorter from the time that you get out to the time you have to go back, but it's time for back to school.
Yeah.
You got some back to school specials that you always do?
Yeah, we got we try to do the same program every year, because not everybody has vision benefits, and we understand that, so we try to help them out. So we partnered with one of our labs and one of our frame suppliers, and if you do a select set of frames with single vision lenses, and it's a high quality lens, it's not the cheap plastic you can get from the big box stores. It is a quality lens. That's for $99.
Right.
Or you can go to the premium package. It's a single vision lens with transition with a very high end scratch coat for $199. So that's
$200.
Yeah, I mean
that's cheap enough.
You can't beat that with a stick.
No, I guarantee you.
You can, but you'd scratch up the lens.
Well, you might have anti-scratch, but with a stick, that's not much you can do with a stick.
No,
I mean,
it's scratch resistant.
Somebody brings a pair in and says, "I took a stick to these. Does warranty cover it?" You'd probably say, "Well,
you'd be surprised."
Really?
That's the whole great thing about the lab that we use as far as our lenses go. We partner with a lab company called Hoya.
Okay.
And they are a company that's they got on the market, so to speak, by making all the flat screens for TVs and iPhones and all that stuff. If you've got some of the flat panel device, they made the screen for it. And so what they've done, they've transitioned over into ophthalmics and into glasses and stuff, and you never hear of them as far as like, you might be watching TV and see a commercial for Crizal lenses. That's a popular one out now. That's a polycarbonate lens, which it's a good lens, but it scratches really, really easily. So Hoya come out with their I'm not going to say their version, but their replacement.
Okay.
For polycarbonate. It's a high-end lens. It's resist scratching. It's got a lot of great benefits to it, but you never hear about them because they put all their revenue back into research and getting better lenses.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, you talk about the research, and you mentioned the TVs, and it's just amazing, man. The computers and Mac computers to the iPads, and
I know.
It's just amazing. The little bitty small devices can carry so much information. And you used to have a TV that was this, and I still have a couple of those that was this deep when you put it in. And
use it as a boat anchor, right?
Absolutely, you can. But anyway, phone's ringing. I'm not going to answer.
Don't worry about it.
Tell us a little bit about contact lens and the guaranteed contact lens program, because Doc, I'm telling you, and I know we talked about it several times on the program, it doesn't get any better when you say, if these things don't work for you, you don't know anything.
Not a thing, not a thing. And that's a great thing, because we went to a lot of trouble, but we've got a large amount of trial lenses in stock. And if you come in, we try the lenses for you, teach you how to put them in, teach you how to take them out, how to take care of them, find the lens that fits right, makes you see correctly. And if we don't have it in stock for you to try, we order it in for you to try.
Okay.
And if you try it, like it, great. Then yeah, you pay a fitting fee, you buy your lenses and all that jazz. If you try it, don't like it, nothing works, just walk away. Nobody's out anything.
And the good thing about it, you try one, and if that doesn't work, you try another, and you keep trying until you go, hey, it's probably not going to work. And
I tell patients all the time, you will give up before I will.
Absolutely.
Now, there are some instances where I've had to turn to a patient that, listen, contacts aren't for you.
Sure.
We've got to find a different theory for your...
Try some of these nice glasses.
Yeah, how about some... If God wanted you to wear contacts, he wouldn't have invented
that
glasses.
Is correct. It's always a pleasure to get to see you. Back to school specials.
Back to school, get in here, and...
Where are we located? We're in Newport.
We're in Newport at the Village Mall.
Just been here a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I have been.
Yes, sir.
It's been fun.
Well, it's been fun. Business is good. People trust in what they get here from a professional standpoint. I know we kid and joke a lot on the program, but I mean, this is where I get my glasses, get my contacts, get my sunglasses, get everything. Our family does our business here, and we're proud to be patients of Dr. Gavin McDowell and Customized Vision Care.
Well,
good to see you, my friend. As always, it is a pleasure to get to see the good doc here on the Business Spotlight.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the July edition of the Jackson County Extension Service Report. I'm Randy Kulpechka with the Jackson County office of the University of Arkansas Cooperative Extension Service. Well, we're out at the same cornfield that we've taped at for the last 3 months. We taped here for the May program, the June program, and now the July program. If you remember the first program, the corn was very small, didn't really look very good at that time. Last time it was probably about head tall or so. And now, as you can see, it's tasseled out, starting to put ears on, and has really developed extremely well and looks really good. So just kind of give you an idea of how quickly some of our crops advance during the growing season, especially corn. If you kind of remember my tone from the last few programs that we've talked about, I was generally harping on the weather, and how far behind we were on our crops, really until last month's program. In last month's program, during the month of May, we'd shaped up somewhat, and, entering June, our crop was really starting to shape up quite well. This month's tone is really going to be a mixed bag, I guess you might say. We were really starting to shape up very well, and have still in some parts of the county, until we had a huge rain on June the 29th. Most of you will remember that Sunday morning. If you're from Newport on south, we heard lightning during the night, and just kept on lightning and thundering, and was wondering how much rain was actually going on. When we got up that morning, we realized there'd really been some heavy rainfall, ranging from about 4 inches in the Newport area all the way to 8 inches in the very south end of the county. And you probably heard some of the reports of 10 to 12 inches when you get down into Woodruff and St. Francis and some of those counties down there. So, very, very heavy rainfall that damaged a lot of crops, especially in the south part of Jackson County and some of those other counties. So our crop situation is really kind of a mixed bag right now, and we're going to go through our major crops and talk about them. Talking about our corn crop, as you can see out here, the corn is tasseled, putting on ears. Corn probably not as affected by the heavy rainfall as some of the other crops. For one reason, corn is generally planted on some of the more well-drained soils. With well-drained soils, you don't have as much water damage even when you have heavy rains. That's not saying there wasn't some damage in places on some of the fields that were planted maybe on some fields that aren't as well drained, but overall the corn crop probably not as affected as the rice and soybean crop. Looking at our rice crop, where the flooding occurred in the south end of the county, probably the big effect has been being levees washed out. Besides those levees being washed out, though, really the crop in other places where there hasn't been that significant damage has really shaped up pretty well. Our crop has really entered what we call the reproductive stage, where it starts forming the head within the stalk, and of course the grain's starting to form and all that. And before the head comes out in just a few weeks right here, probably in late July. I'm typing in early July, but by late July we'll have a lot of the rice headed out. With our rice crop right now, again, it's shaped up pretty well except for those areas where the levees have washed out. During this time frame, there's really some things that we look at. First, broadleaf weed control. We want to get things like coffee bean, indigo, and morning glories controlled before we get too far into the reproductive stage, while we can still use herbicides. And then we start looking for diseases, namely sheath blight and blast. And then as the rice heads out, we start looking for stink bugs. So those are going to be the main things from now on, is that pest management situation, and then try to stay on top of that. Where these levees have washed out, hopefully our farmers can get those repaired pretty quickly. With the rice in the reproductive stage, we can't afford to drought stress anymore. It could cause significant yield loss. So hopefully the farmers can get these levees rebuilt and get this rice flooded back up where we won't have that drought stress. So that's going to be real critical from here on out. Finally, finishing up with soybeans, the crop most dramatically affected by the heavy rainfall in the south part of the county. Soybeans just don't like a lot of water, especially when they're small, for an extended amount of time, and we've had a lot of fields just totally covered up, flooded with rainfall. And even some of those that aren't totally flooded are going to stay or have stayed muddy for several days and could see significant damage as well. But a lot of beans are going to have been killed by the excessive rainfall or damaged significantly. So a lot of the questions that I've been hearing have been related to things like whether or not I need to replant at this late date, how much yield potential have I lost, is it going to be a money maker even if I make a decent crop, what's the chances of making a good crop and making money at this late stage. Also, if I'm going to replant beans, what maturity group of soybeans do I plant? A lot of the recent research has shown that maybe the mid to late group 4s are our best choice for these late plantings. We used to always say the group 5s would do better at late plantings, but some of the recent genetics that have been introduced into the group 4s is really pretty strong, and it seems like these varieties will hold up pretty well, and you may need to look at these mid to late 4s as far as our replanting situation. Also, weed control. A lot of guys have residual herbicides out on these fields that they're having to replant and want to know whether it's still there or not. There's no way really knowing that. You almost have to treat it just like that residual herbicide is there, and then try to control your weeds with post-emergence herbicides. On those fields where there hasn't been any damage, we're starting to bloom and set pods on those fields. So what we need to worry about is insects and diseases. Stay on top of that situation. We've had some armyworm and bollworm flights, and also some significant populations south of us, so we need to stay on top of the insect and disease situation from here on out. So, again, hopefully things will look a little bit better when we take for the August program, and until next month, this has been Randy Klepechka with this month's Jackson County Extension Service Report.
Reliability in today's technology is what you'll receive with every T&L pivot system. T&L offers 3 control systems that best meet your needs. First, a TLC computer control features speed and direction control at any degree of the circle, as well as chemigation, measurements, and more. Second, the new speed and direction control at the pivot point has all the convenience of the computer control without the complexity. Third, the standard speed and direction control, the simplest and most reliable in the industry. See your T&L dealer today to find out more about the leading management tools for your T&L irrigation systems.